Hi friends, welcome to Grade B. We are back with yet another important lecture on the current affairs series that we are running in our YouTube channel. So this is the current affairs from the month of Feb 1 to Feb 10, right? And this is related to financial news and other news. We are not covering PIB in this video. As you all know, PIB will be covered in a separate video. So let's quickly begin. Let's begin with the first news article that SEBI directs AMC, asset management companies, to form audit committee from August. Right? So what is the issue? SEBI asks asset management companies to form audit committee that will be responsible for oversight of the financial reporting process, audit process, and compliance with laws and regulation, among others. This is a circular by Stock Exchange Board of India, right? So this circular will come into force from when? August 1, 2022. Very important piece of information, right? Rest everything you can go through it, okay? And also there are few points that I will mark which you should know. The chairperson is mandated to conduct at least 4 meetings in a financial year. Okay, whom the audit committee chairperson, okay, and there should be a gap of work 120 days between two meetings. Look, these are all new things, right? Since audit committee is the new thing, now the type of meeting they will have, the gap, anything can be asked in terms of MCQ, right? So you should know all these things. Then who will appoint the audit committee? The audit committee will be appointed by the board of director of the AMC, right? So it's not the SEBI. Sometimes, when a SEBI circular comes up, we may tend, if we do not know, we may tend to think, okay, SEBI will appoint. No, SEBI is not going to appoint here. It's the board of director of that particular asset management company. They are going to appoint it, right? So yes, let's move to next news article, that is framework for conversion of private listed INVITs. This is also circular by SEBI. So capital market regulator SEBI came out with a framework for conversion of private listed infrastructure trust INVITs into a public InvITs INVIT. In addition, the regulator has issued guidelines for converting a private unlisted InvIT into a private listed ones. Okay, unlisted ones to an unlisted listed ones. So it has issued the guideline. Right, this is applicable to private listed InvITs. Okay, so as per the circular, you can go all the details, and these are not not very much important in terms of MCQ, not every line, but yes, I will certainly mark few things that you should know. Look, read this line. A listed private InvIT has to comply with various requirements, including having at least 5 investors other than the sponsors. Okay, 5 investors. So these are the few things that you know. Then a private listed InvIT will have to fulfill certain conditions, including approval from 75% of the unit holders by value, okay, for such public issue for units. Got it? Then minimum sponsor contribution for the public issue will be either the extent of 15% of the unit issued through the public issue or 15% of the post issue capital, right? Then further unit offered towards minimum sponsor contribution will be locked in for 18 months from the date of listing of units allocated in such a public issue. Got it? So let's move to next news article, that is monetary policy highlight. Okay, so I hope you have already gone through it, because this is something hot, and when it comes, the aspirants of SEBI, RBI and NABARD cannot wait to read it, right? Still, let us try to consolidate it. What is there? So monetary policy is by the RBI. It's a 6-member board. Then the MPC has opted to maintain an accommodative stance while leaving the repo rate, reverse repo rate, bank rate and marginal standing facility at unchanged, right? So what are this rate? So there are few important points that we should know, like retail inflation for 23 has peaked at 4.5%. RBI rated 5.3 inflation projection for FY22. Real GDP for FY22 is projected at 7.8%, right? So I hope you know the difference between real GDP and nominal GDP. Then variable repo rate and variable reverse repo rate auction of 14-day tenors will operate as to maintain the main liquidity management tool. So, this is something new that RBI has introduced, and since then RBI had been using this particular tool to maintain the liquidity in the market. Then, with effect from March 1, very important line, fixed rate, fixed reverse repo rate and MSF operation will be available between 5:30 p.m. till 11:59 p.m. on all days. Okay, with effect from March 1. Now, the cap under e-rupee prepaid digital voucher has been enhanced from 10,000 to rupees 1 lakh per voucher and can be used more than once. So I hope you know what is e-rupee. If you do not know, or if you have forgotten what e-rupee is, there is a particular specific video on the e-rupee that we have made in our YouTube channel. Please find it and watch that video. That would be more than enough to understand the basic concept and the specific guidelines regarding e-rupee, or we can say the framework. Okay, the framework of e-rupee has been completely explained in that particular video. Then increasing the NACH mandate limit to rupees 3 crore from 1 crore currently for trade related settlement has been proposed. One tap liquidity window for healthcare extended till June 30. Limit for inflows under the voluntary retention scheme hiked to rupees 2.5 lakh crore from rupees 1.5 lakh crore. Right? Then on growth front, the central bank now sees FY23 growth at 7.8%. Further, it has forecast of Q1 FY23 growth at 17. So, this is quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. This is absolutely not important. Overall year, that 7.8% is more important, right? Still, if you want, you can go through this table. Everything is being explained regarding CPI and GDP data as well. Let's move forward. To consolidate, this is the stance. Repo rate is at 4%. Stance is accommodative stance. Reverse repo rate 3.35. MSF and bank rate at 4.25. CRR 4%. SLR 18%. Projection of real GDP for FY23 it's 7.88%. Retail inflation for FY23 has been pegged at 4.5%. So this is what RBI, right? Then RBI to prematurely redeem SGB means sovereign gold bond. The Reserve Bank of India has decided to prematurely redeem sovereign gold bond which were issued in 2016 at a price of 4,813 per unit of SGB. Very important, right? So both this data, they can form a very good MCQ question, right? So recently a question can be asked. Recently RBI has RBI has decided to prematurely redeem SGB. This were issued in the year, they will put the question mark. Okay, 16, 17, 18, 19 will be the option and none of the above. You will have to answer it. It would be 2016. Again, on the same end, at what price RBI has decided to prematurely redeem SGB, which was issued back in 2016. A question something like this can also be framed, and the answer would be 4,830. Right? So you should know all these things. Let's move forward. So as you all know, every news article will have some static part of it. So you can go through the static part. Obviously, in a static part, what is the difference between our material and material that is available freely from other sources, right? So other sources will use almost the same data in every static part, right? But we diversify it. Maybe see SGB, this was discussed in the 30 I'm telling you, in the 21st to 31st Jan current affair material also, right? Or any previous material. So you won't find the same information that we put there and that we put here. Okay, the information is different. So consistently, if you follow our material, you would build a very good concept of the static part of any particular news, right? So current affair is current affair, right? It can't be created. What we offer, other also offer the same, because we don't create current affair, right? So current affair is something that is coming from RBI, SEBI and the government. Only the presentation differs. Now what is important is to give you the only relevant information, make you understand what you have to read and what you have to leave, because what you have to leave is a very key decision in your learning process, right? And believe me, this is since most of the viewers here are actually not preparing for SEBI or not giving SEBI, right? So that is why we are not concerned if the video is going long. So let us discuss this when it came. So while you are preparing, you are not here to score 100 out of 100. You are here to get your selection, right? And if you want to get your selection, so you have to decide what you want to read and what you want to leave. And this is a very important decision. If you decide to read everything, believe me, that is the first and biggest mistake that you are doing. Okay, you can't gallop all the information that is available, right? You cannot do it. So our current affair material is focused on completely based on the previous year question paper and the patterns, right? So we follow everything and then we prepare. And that's why we have decided to separate PIB from the current affairs so that you decide, okay? And we only put relevant material in both the materials and even the static part of it. So let's move forward. ADB loans to India, right? So this is not actually current affairs, but yes, this is a data given by the ADB that ADB has given a record USD 4.6 billion loans to India in 2021, including USD 1.8 billion towards coronavirus response. Okay, so this 4.6 billion has 1.6 billion in it, right? So you can go through it. This minute details is not required that ADBs comprise 69 projects worth rupees 15.5 billion. Obviously not. Just in case you have time, if you are going through this kind of data, go it at least 3 to 4 times over a long period of time, so that when you write some descriptive part, some of the other information you remember, because you have descriptive, and that's why we put data that are relevant to descriptive. But again, we don't expect you to remember this thing also. Okay, it's natural that we will forget after 2 months that 15.5 billion of the loan were given for 69 projects, right? And even we don't think that question can be framed in this minute data, but certainly if you remember this anyhow, it will make your descriptive answer beautiful. That's it. So the only way to remember is going through it multiple times. Okay, don't try to mug it up in the first go or in the second go, in the third go. Okay, be relaxed, just go through it multiple times. That would be completely enough, and I can guarantee you will remember it. There is no, you should take no pressure to mug it up. If you take that pressure, you will tend to forget. Then let's move forward. Again, the details regarding Asian Development Bank is here. Now let's move forward. Report and index in news. Now there is a report that 20 BPS reverse repo rate hike will help buyer of government securities. This is a report given by State Bank of India, and that is the reason this holds importance. So an SBI report said, look, let's scroll down. Yeah. The budget 23 has pegged the center gross borrowing at 14.3 lakh crore and for financial year 22 at rupees 10.5 lakh crore, lower than 13.5 lakh crore this fiscal, while together with the state, the gross borrowing will be 23.3 lakh crore and net will be 17.8 lakh crore, right? So based on this, the SBI says that 20 BPS reverse repo rate hike will help buyers, means buyers will come towards government security. So let's move to the next article. Okay, next is neo banking. So you know what neo banking is? So according to SBI assessment, YONO is valued at around 14 billion. Okay, but some analysts say that it had crossed 50 billion. Now, what is the issue? The issue is here. So top global neo banks, right? First of all, let us come and let us see what neo bank is. So neo banks are online only financial technology fintech company that operates solely digitally via mobile app. Simply put, neobanks are digital banks without any physical branches in a wide umbrella of financial service provider who We say today tech-savvy customers. Neobank can be fintech firms that provide digital and mobile financial solutions, payment, money transfer, money lending, and more. Okay. Now the issue is that monthly active user has crossed more than 50 millions for YONO SBI, and so is the valuation. Then it's New Bank, then it's PicPay, then it's YONO Lite SBI, then it's Revolt. Okay. So now let's move forward. LIC third largest globally. Who said this? This is a report by CRISIL. LIC third largest globally but offers ROE of 82% says CRISIL report. So this is a report by CRISIL. Okay. So now you can go through all the data. That would be enough. But yes, third largest globally, and this report is by CRISIL. ROE is 82%. These are the only piece of news that are very important and can form a part of your MCQ. Okay, so one thing, ROE is return on equity. Okay, return on equity is 82%. Now let's move forward with the other news. 1500 crore raised through tier 2 bond. A private sector lender, IDFC First Bank, has raised 1500 crore in capital through maiden issue of, means first time issue of tier 2 bonds. Okay, so only this much is important. Right, so with this we have come to the one-liner. So as you all know, we don't discuss one-liner in video, so you can go through the current affair material, okay, and you can find many important news here. With this we have come to the end of this lecture. We wish you very good luck from Team Grade B. Happy and thank you learning.